Your move, your move.
What's up guys, it's Rogue2 here and welcome to yet another amazing video on the channel. So for today, I got you a deck profile that I piloted myself in a Spanish tournament in Spain and I won the whole event. So it is of course Exosisters, and I just wanted to show you this deck and the explanations and of course why I think you should be sort of playing this deck. It just got a reprint in the Mega Tins, meaning it is very cheap and more shinier than ever, which makes me very happy. So Exosisters, if you are going to be opening tins, make sure you set them aside and build the deck because it really is incredible. And not a lot of people really know the niche interactions that you can do with the deck. So that gives you such a big advantage, especially if you know exactly how their deck works and they don't know exactly how yours does. But anyways, further ado, if you do enjoy this type of content, make sure you do leave a like and that you do subscribe down below. It really does mean the world to me. Road to 2K, we are very close, hopefully hit it by the end of the year, and we would have more than doubled our subscriber count this year, which is incredible, and the family is getting very big, and I appreciate every single one of you. Also, comment down below, what deck are you going to be playing, dueling Nexus format that we are currently in. Let me know. I've seen a lot of people say they're going to play Rescue Ace, a lot of people saying they're playing Pearly. I want to hear from you rogue players out there. Tell me what you guys are playing. I really do want to know. But without any further ado, let's get straight into the deck profile. So let's get on to the Exosister deck profile and the explanations in the ratios that I play. Best Exosister card by a mile, of course, it is triple Exosister Martha. This card is always going to be absolutely incredible and a 3 of. Farts out an Xyz for free, specials itself and Elise out the deck, and a lot of people still don't really know what Exosisters do. They know that this card's great, but they don't realize just how good it actually is. So I think that Martha is still a very underrated card. For the other Exosisters, triple Exosister Stella. Finally got a high rarity print in the tin. I believe it comes in secret rare. I am excited for that. But if you don't know what it does, is you're usually gonna normal summon this card, and it's gonna special summon another Exosister from your hand, allowing you to do your Xyz plays. Sometimes you want to use this as Vela and Imperm bait. What do I mean? You're gonna normal summon this, use its effect, get hit with an Imperm or Vela, and then special summon the Elise from your hand anyway. So that is why I like starting off with this card sometimes. We also have triple of the Exosister Elise. Elise also got a secret rare print in the tins, which I'm very happy for, and it's actually quite deserved. If you don't know what Elise is, it's the name that you actually got a special summon out the deck with your Exosister Martha, and if you control an Exosister monster, it's just going to special summon itself, even if you control an Elise. So if you control an Elise, you can special summon another Elise out of your hand, which is fantastic, because that lets you do a lot of Xyz plays. We also have double Exosister Sophia. Not as good as the other Exosisters, sadly. Draws you a card, which is nice, but if you do use Prosperity, obviously it does have a bit of conflict. And of course we have the one Exosister Irene. Also got a secret rare print, which is kind of crazy. I was hoping that it would get a super. It got a secret print, which is crazy. This means all of the Exosisters are now going to be incredibly high rarity, for us meta and high rarity collectors out there. We're finally going to have a high rarity version of Irene that isn't a rare. So I'm really happy about that. And of course we play Irene because Sophia mentions Irene and Irene mentions Sophia, making it perfect for your Vadis targets when you activate your trap. For the Spirit Package, triple Aratama. Card's incredible. It's a 1-card combo. If you only have 1 card in your hand and your opponent has no disruptions, you're still going to be able to kill them, or you're still going to be able to set up your full Banish 4 combo with follow-up. So incredible. And we have, I think the card of the tournament for me was really Sakitama. The amount of times I just had Sakitama in my hand, and when they did stop my Exosister plays, I'd reveal it and get the extra normal summon, the extra level 4 body. It's incredible. I believe someone tried to liner my Sakitama, since it cannot be special summoned. It was fantastic because Liner has no effect. I think as well that Aratama has that effect, so they are protected by the Charmers, which is fantastic. So a card of the tournament for me, really, because the amount of times that my opponent did disrupt me and I could just continue playing and not care because of Sakitama was crazy. And of course they have ultras now, and so does Aratama, meaning you can continue with the high rarity theme in the deck. For the spells, Triple Pax. Pax is just absolutely incredible as well. It's a rotor. It is only during the main phase, sadly, so you can get drolled after this, but it is a rotor that is a quick play, but it doesn't only add monsters, it can add any card, and it can also add as an e-telly if you already have the Exosister that the card you add names. So it's really useful. You can special out Martha if you have Elise in the field or graveyard, move a card out of the graveyard, and then immediately XE summon, which I think is an amazing use for packs. We also have for the traps, double Returnia and double Vadis. Both are as important as each other. Obviously, in sort of going into your opponent's board, you're not going to really want to be seeing them because you're going to want to be adding them. But if you are going to go first, Returnia is one hell of a card, especially against back row. It's super, super nice. For the hand traps, Triple Ash, you know, really good in the Labyrinth matchup. Really good in the branded matchup as well. I did play Lich as well. It was great into that because you can hit the Scarlet Sanguine with Ash, and you know, it's just fantastic. Just Ash is just an incredible card. We have triple DD Crow. Not a lot of people expect this. They say, why are you playing Bestials? Well, Martha has an effect that means that if you activate Martha, you cannot special summon anything that is an Exosister that turn, but you can still use DD Crow. I had an interaction where I revealed Martha, which was my only Exosister in hand. They ashed it. I proceeded to normal summon Martha, use DD Crow, banish their Ash from the graveyard, and that actually triggered Martha, because Martha triggers even if you move a card out of the graveyard. So DD Crow can also act as a sort of rank up magic in a way for your Martha. So kind of crazy that way. And we also have triple Droll and Lock. This card won games on its own. I played against a Dark World player. I felt bad for him, really, because I drolled him game 1, and then game 2, I sided in shift, and I shifted him, and then I proceeded to OTK him twice. So, Droll is still one hell of a card, guys, and yes, it has negative synergy with Shifter, but if you're playing against a deck that loses to Droll and Shifter like Dark World, you're going to want to side them in, because you're going to want to see at least one of them. So, you're going to have to take that risk. For the flex spots, triple Pot of Prosperity, very free in Exosister. I literally don't think I summoned anything that wasn't an Exosister the entire day from my deck, from my extra deck. So Pot of Prosperity just has a lot of free banishes. We have double, triple tack, you know, a lot of hand traps running around, and this can really help punish your opponent. I had my opponent droll me, and then I call bide them, but then I also got to triple tack them, remove the nib, and play the game. So really, really nice. And we also have the one Called by the Grave, which of course, I saw this card way too much, way more often than I should be allowed to, and it was just incredible. So that is the main deck. It is of course 40 cards. You want to keep it as consistent as possible. You want to see Martha as often as possible. Let's move on now to the extra deck. Moving on to our extra deck, let's start it off quickly. We have our link package, which is a access code talker, a Celine, and a liner. In theory, this is very good. Didn't come up all day, but the option's there. Usually I just end up banishing the 3, but it's there if you need the OTK and you don't want to, you know, you're not Exosister locked. The choice is there, which is nice. It's so nice to have the choice. We have double Exosister Magnifica. One hell of a card. Won me so many games. You establish this. If you get Kaiju'd, you are big screwed because the Magnifica is a lot of your disruption and follow-up. But if they don't have the Kaiju, we good. And it's allowed to banish one card, summon Mikalis from the deck, from its materials, and then able to banish another card from Mikalis, and Mikalis is also a follow-up. So speaking of which, we have Mikalis. Also quickly, the fact it can attack twice caught a lot of people off guard, and they didn't expect that, and that was how I OTK them. But Mikalis, the one you summon by far the most, a banish the turn it's special summoned, which is fantastic because you can make it during your opponent's turn, and also it's a search for a spell and trap. We have double Caspatel, which is your monster search, and also the turn it is special summoned, your opponent cannot special summon monsters from the graveyard. So even if you make this during your opponent's turn, it's a floodgate. It is crazy and very, very overlooked, and I do think it has a ultra print as well, so we can finally get rid of these disgusting rares. We have one Exosister Jabreen, very useful for the OTKs. You can detach a material and all Xyz monsters gain 800 attack, even monsters that you summon afterwards. And also, it is a quick effect during the turn that it is summoned. It's basically a infinite impermanence, which is lovely. We also have the one Exosister Asophiel, and this card is basically the Abyss Dweller of the archetype. And sadly, it's not on a quick effect, but you can detouch one card and target one monster and compulsory evacuation device it back to the hand. So all the Exosisters, I did make them. Obviously, I made Michaelis and Magnifica the most, and also Caspatel in that regard. But the others are very nice to have as options. For the non-Exosister cards, we have one Zeus. It's there. I don't think I made this. I only think I made Exosisters. But, Zeus is there in theory. It's going to come up, so might as well play it. We have the one Utopia Lightning and the one Utopia to get over big monsters that are unaffected and have a lot of attack. You can Utopia Lightning them, gains up to 5k, and then push through that way. And then you can make a Zeus afterwards. It's not too bad. That is the extra deck. Let's go to the side deck. We have triple Dimension Shifter, just an incredible card. Triple Ghost Mourner, very useful and people don't expect it. We have triple Cosmic Cyclone, just amazing spell and trap removal, and it banishes, which comes up. Double Lightning Storm with the one Harpies. And then we have triple Solemn Strike, which was actually really good in this tournament. But I do still think that this should be Gozen Match to protect you from the Kaiju, because Gozen Match will lock you into your attributes. And I believe all the Exosisters are light, meaning you can only be Kaiju'd with a light, which is, they don't really play that on. So it does protect you from Kaijus, and that way your Magnifica will stay on the board more. So I do think this should be Gozen Match. But Strike did one hell of a job as well.